Welcome. Thank you for coming out here and enjoying your breakfast with us. And we appreciate it. And hopefully over the course of the next 45 minutes or so, myself and Phil are going to provide some great value, some great insights that we've picked up working with over 3,000 clients across the industry, and hopefully share some stuff with you that you can start to put to work in your practices and your businesses as soon as you get back home, right? Because y'all aren't here to gamble. Y'all are here to learn and invest in your success, maybe gamble a little bit, but primarily here for business purposes, and we want to make sure that time is well spent. I'm Chris Chimenko, co-founder, chief evangelist of RepeatMD, joined, as always, by our CEO, founder, Phil Sitter. And again, we're super excited to share what we've picked up over the last few years, and these learnings I think are really interesting. Hopefully you agree. If you don't know who we are at RepeatMD, let me just give you a little brief background on who we are and our history. So we're the fastest growing software company in health tech. And I don't say that to impress you, but just to impress upon you that we're taking everything that we're learning, winning every battle inch by inch, and we're applying it and reiterating until we have a better and better product for our clients. And the results of that so far are 1 million patient downloads in our apps, right? So RepeatMD, we create these mobile reward apps. You think of it like Starbucks apps, but built for your practice, right? It's all branded for you. And our practices have gotten over 1 million patient downloads so far, which is fantastic. That means that patients really love this. They like to have these apps. They like this experience. We have over 3,000 clients we work with. And most importantly to me, over $950 million in client revenue generated. That's revenue generated for our clients, by our clients, using the technology. We're multiple award winners. We won the Aesthetic Award for Best Innovative Technology twice now. I like to say the only reason why we didn't win in 2022 is because we didn't know we could win twice in a row. So maybe that's true. And we have industry partners that we're super proud of, that we're sure that a lot of you are partners with as well. And they've been a big part of our expansion. And them trusting us with their clients was a key part to our early growth in the very beginning. So before we get into talking about memberships, and Phil's going to walk everyone through the biggest insights that we've picked up so far in just a second. But before we do that, who here is currently selling memberships? It's great to see. When we did this talk 2 years ago, we get about a quarter of the room.
About 20%.
Yeah, now it's almost half the room. So y'all are catching on pretty quickly. And if you're selling memberships, then you're in the right place, because we're going to show you some secrets and some techniques that are going to take those memberships and help them really grow. And if you're not selling memberships, my hallucination would be that you're going to run out and sign up for memberships and put them together in your practice right after we're done here. So let's get to it. Phil?
Thank you, Chris. So folks, I'm excited to do this with you today because my challenge to myself creating this was more and more in the room we have RepeatMD clients, right? So it's less about RepeatMD, it's more about how do I make sure our clients and folks that are not RepeatMD clients and don't need to be clients, how do they get the most value out of this? So I'm proud to say that we spent time looking through our data and really creating something that we think today is going to be extraordinary value for you. Because what we recognize with memberships is that the opportunity for memberships is there. The question is, are you capitalizing on the opportunity? And there's so many things to do, there's so many opportunities, there's so many ways to create memberships. What is the most effective? So we're about to go through the value train, and you're gonna see something that is going to make an impact on your business today. That I guarantee. We're gonna go through, I believe, 9 key takeaways from selling over $50 million of recurring membership revenue. And my hope and my goal is not only that you find one way, but multiple ways to transform your business, okay? So, key takeaway number 1, practices who incentivize their staff, they sell more memberships. Who in this room that actually selling memberships incentivizes their staff? Okay, so about 3 people. Take a look at this slide. They sell 600% more than those who don't. Incentivizing your staff in order to be with you and selling for you is absolutely key when you're selling memberships. And when we look at our clients that have staff incentivization, you need to figure this piece out today. You want to sell more memberships today? Let's make sure that we incentivize your staff. 600% more. Okay? Practices without incentives, $2,000 a month. Practice with incentives, $12,000 a month. That's game changing. If you think about, a lot of times we'll have clients come up and say, RepeatMD helped me to finance my next device, or it's paying off my bills, whatever the case is. I mean, the difference between $2,000 a month and $12,000 a month might be your rent plus 2 devices. So doesn't it just make sense that if the team that's actually with us, talking to our clients, talking to our patients, that they're in it with us, right? Like selling together. And the incentives don't need to be anything crazy. You can do team bonuses. We see team bonuses hitting membership goals as an absolute game changer for our clients, where it doesn't have to be you're giving away the farm, but you're also making sure that they're a part of it. And the team bonuses is something that, for me, as a owner-operator of my past, I spent a decade working and owning restaurants. I would do my pre-shifts and do team bonuses, and all the time when we did do that, it drove a lot of revenue. So I want you to consider, because there's only 3 of you out of this entire room that are incentivizing their staff, I want you to consider what incentive could you do, right, to incentivize your staff to sell memberships on your behalf. And how do we do this in a way that's compelling? And how do we do this in a way where you don't have to be in the business doing it all yourself? Okay, so consider that. Number 2, practices who show the savings or value of their memberships sell more. I'll say that again. Practices who show savings or the value of their memberships sell more. Almost twice as much. Twice as much. You guys spend a lot of time putting together these incredible memberships, and you know that they're valuable because essentially you're discounting because you're looking for the recurring revenue. But you're also not showing the savings. What's the point of a discount if I don't know what my savings are? You want to see an example? Here you go. Show the value. Show what the value is. Okay, it's $99 a month. Okay, it's a $2,300 value. Well, 99 times 12 is $1,200. Okay? The reality is, folks, if you're going to spend your time building memberships that have savings and value, you should show the savings and value, right? Because then the justification, folks, what's really important to understand when it comes to selling is people, they buy off of emotion, but they truly close the deal based off logic. So emotion is like, oh man, that's a great deal. Okay, the logic is the dollars I'm gonna save. Okay, so we need to consider that. Show the savings, you'll sell more memberships immediately. Okay, practices who offer sign up convert more, almost a third more. A sign up offer, right? So that means if you sign up for our membership today, you get this. That's a sign up offer. Sign up today, you get a free dermaplane. Sign up today, you get a free IV. Sign up today, you get B12 shots. Sign up today, you get 10 units of Botox. Whatever it is, consider a sign-up offer. A third will buy more, right? I buy the membership instant gratification. This is key. I'm gonna say it for the folks that need the permission to do it. Many of you folks are thinking about, okay, I have a $20 toxin club, I've got a beauty bank. Don't be afraid to sell high dollar memberships. You would be shocked what high dollar memberships do to your business. Was anyone at the Med Commerce event that we did a couple days ago? One. Shannon, I know you were there. You won the Mercedes. Give it up for Shannon, won a Mercedes at our webinar. Beautiful rose gold Mercedes, white leather. I'll be by on Tuesday, dropping it off. Look, Dr. Geyer was on our webinar, and she sells a $500 a month membership. Okay, she sells over $100,000 a month with a $500 a month membership. That's the only membership she sells. It's a weight loss-based membership. But the reality is that some folks, they don't think that their patients will buy that. You should try to put together a high dollar membership. Here's an example of one, okay? This is $450 a month. They can redeem 2 of these. They get membership-only pricing and also perks. The reason why we chose this one, it wasn't weight loss, right? This is actually a high dollar a month membership that is not weight loss related, right? Because with weight loss, you already know how to get to $400 a month. But with this one's unique. Now, I want to show you something. You see where it says redeem 2 monthly? You see that what I highlighted there, can share with the guest? There's a key there. Because there might be a day that Sandra, is off on vacation, or she wants to come in with her girlfriend, and she doesn't necessarily want to get 2 that month. What an impact would it be on your business if Sandra brought Jessica at the same time and got you a new patient? Isn't it true that when your patients come in, they want to bring somebody with them to share the experience because they love the experience that you have to offer? Why not build a referral program into your memberships? I don't care if she comes in and gets 2 or she brings a friend, because the reality is, and I know you all are amazing once they're in the practice, to convert them to come back again and again. I know many of you in this room, if I come to your practice, I'll come over and over again. Isn't it true? But getting them in, you're spending so much time, money, and energy on marketing, on this, on that, on all this shit, right? Just to get them in. Well, your membership program can bring them in. Am I making sense? Okay. Practices with high monthly recurring revenue are worth more. Okay? They're worth a whole lot more. Like a lot more, and I'm going to show you how much more. If you're building a legacy business, meaning a business that you can live off, if you're building a potential franchising business, you want to get into franchising, if you hope to one day to sell your business, private equity roll-up or whatever it is, you're going to want to build the most valuable business. I think you're going to want to build the most valuable business no matter what. If you build a business with recurring revenue, you can absolutely build the highest business. Let me show you the highest value for your business. The effects on enterprise value. Practice A, practice B, same top line revenue, but it's going to be done a little different. Practice A, $3 million a year, all non-recurring sales, meaning one-time sales, okay? They have a 20% net margin. That's a great net margin. They get 4 times forward earnings, meaning I make $600K, my business is valued 4 times that, okay? That practice is going to be worth $2.4 million. It's a great business. People buy that business at $2.4 million. Let's look at practice B. They make $3 million, okay? Same top line revenue, but it's done just a little different. $2.46 million in one-time sales, okay? So a little less than practice A in one time, but watch this. They do a 20% net margin, $420,000 profit. The value of that business on that side is $1.6 million, but they've got recurring revenue. They got $540,000, so a little over $40,000 a month in recurring revenue. That business is worth 6 times the top line, okay? So watch, 540,000 times 6, 3.2 million. This business is worth 4.9 million. Why is this business worth more? Put yourself in the perspective of the investor, okay? Why is a practice with membership revenue worth so much more? Predictable revenue. Nobody wants to buy your business if it's built off of you, okay? Nobody. Trust me, Gordon Ramsay can't sell Gordon Ramsay's Hell Kitchen because if Gordon Ramsay's not associated with it, it ain't Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen, right? And so the reality is you cannot buy a business that's built off of one person. And you see, oh, top 100 injector. You know what the top 100 injector that owns the business is? A fucking prisoner. That's what they are. They don't have a business. They have an entirety of like a celebrity persona built off of a business that they can't sell. The best case scenario is they sell to private equity and they actually become prisoners for 5 years because they're going to have an earnout. It's not a real business. Okay, that might be a high-paying job. Okay, members spend more and they visit way more often. Do the math. How often do your Botox patients come in? 3 times a year? 4 times a year? If you're selling monthly membership, 8 times a year, 10 times a year, 12 times a year, they come and spend a lot more. And it increases your lifetime value, right? Again, it's just math. If somebody comes in and they spend a few $100s every single month with you, that adds up. And I'll show you how much that adds up here in a second, okay? Members spend much more than non-members, 44% more. And again, simplified for you all, just like it needs to be for me, it's like, look, of course they spend more because they come in more often, right? It's like these stats, it's like, yeah, no shit, they spend more because they're in your office more often. And so using memberships as a way to drive that is absolutely key, okay? So do y'all remember these memberships that I showed earlier? I want to show you the actual reality of a non-member versus a member in this practice, what the difference of spend is, okay? They're non-members, they spend $1,609 a year. My hallucination is that if your patients come in about 3 times a year, they spend about $500, your numbers look like that. But watch this. Their member yearly spend is $4,000. Their membership spend is $4,000. So the non-members are spending $1,600. Their member yearly spend is spending $4,000. What do you think it takes to transform this business? More or less members? More or less? More. More. Get more members signed up, right? Then they transform their business. They're spending 250% more in this specific practice, okay? Tox memberships are great, but they are broken. If you're doing a standard Tox membership and you don't do what I'm going to show you, your shit is broken. But the good news is it's fixable, and we're going to fix it right now, okay? So this right here is an example of a Tox membership. $99 a month. We're not going to do that anymore. What we're going to do, okay, is we're going to use Tox memberships for patient retention, but the most important piece is we use Tox memberships to drive your patients into your high margin services. What do I mean by that? If you're doing a Tox membership and you're not including membership-based pricing off those high margin services, 10, 20% off, okay, off your high margin services, then there's really no reason for you to do them at all, because you're not really making money off Tox memberships. What you are doing is retaining your patient. That's great. That's great because you don't want your competition to take them. But what you're missing is if you're not taking that and giving membership, and I'm not talking about discounts, folks, membership-based pricing on all the other high margin services, then you're missing the golden goose opportunity, because they're coming in and now all we have to do is give them 10, 20% off because they're members, membership-based pricing, to those high margin services. Am I making sense? That's key. Never do a Tox membership unless you are driving retention, because that's why you're doing it, and then upsells, okay? Number 8, I already alluded to this. I call it death to the discount, okay? Death to the discount. Does anyone in this room want to go to the discount plastic surgeon? Does anyone in this room want to go to the discount med spa? Isn't there like a negative association to us when we say that? I'm not talking about promotions. I love promotions. I think promotions are game changers because they create behaviors. But I'm not a fan of discounts. But what I am a fan is membership-only pricing. No one in this room should ever sell anything at a discount ever again, unless it's a promotion. You got Mother's Day coming up, you should do that. Or unless they're a member. I would never discount anything unless they're a member. We don't do discounts here, but what we do is we have membership pricing. Special pricing for our members only, okay? And it sells more memberships. Take a look at this. Brand on the left, Restoration Hardware, okay? Why am I showing you Restoration Hardware? When it comes to high luxury brands, it's about as high as it gets, Restoration Hardware. I'm not sure that I'm spending $3,000 for a little chair, okay? But Restoration Hardware doesn't do discounts. But do you see what they do? Membership-only pricing. And there's a lesson in that. You can absolutely be a high luxury brand at the highest level and offer membership-based pricing. It's why we built it into RepeatMD, where it's the ultimate wellness package. It's $5,100. Don't fucking ask us about a discount, but you definitely see the membership-based pricing. Am I making sense? Yes. Say yes? Yes. Okay, great. Sell more memberships by making it easy to buy from anywhere at any time. Okay? Easy to buy from anywhere, anytime. When I walk into practices and they have a membership, usually, if it's not with RepeatMD especially, it might be laminated, it might be at the front, no one really talks about it, and then I can read it if I want to. I don't read it because I don't want to. And then the moment that I'm thinking about buying it, I'm typically not in the practice. And then I can't do anything. I just say, oh, okay, I'll just book the next IV, or okay, I'll go ahead and book the next microneedling, whatever it is, because I'm thinking about, hey, you know what? I'm going to Vegas. I want a microneedling, so I'll just buy it. But at that moment, if I wanted to buy, I could just pick up and buy, or pick up and join the memberships because I see the savings, or pick up and do something outside of the practice. That conversion increases over and over again. Because the truth is, folks, most of us, we're not just buying within the store, right? We're buying from home. And Chris will talk about that. And the reality is, all of us would have so many less packages in the front door if we had to go to the Amazon store. Isn't it true? Isn't it true? Like, I have probably 5 packages that I ordered an hour before this event. And my wife is like, do you really need another book? Do you really need another one of these? So like, well, one day I'll get around to it, I'll read it. But making it easy to buy from anywhere, anytime is absolutely critical. Okay? Chris?
Thank you.
All right.
All right. The only thing I want to discount on is my tires, all right? Nobody wants to discount med spa. So, what we're talking about, and Phil, that was awesome, by the way. Everybody get good value out of that? Yeah? I mean, I've heard it 20 times, and I'm like, I need to start a membership program. I don't have anything to sell, but sounds great. So the way that RepeatMD approaches this, right, we're not up here just to tell you all the things you should do and should all over you, we call it, right? We want to actually give you some deployable techniques that you can take back to the practice and use. We like our approach, our strategy, which is using technology, but it's not just technology. What we didn't do is we didn't sit down with our team of engineers and say, hey, let's find a technology that sells. What we did instead was we focused on the patient, right? What does the modern patient want? How do they want to interact? How do they interact with their favorite brands already? And how can we make sure that our clients are in the path of progress in what we like to call the evolution of the modern patient? Would everybody agree that people transact and purchase differently today than they did 10 years ago? Say yes? Yes? Let me ask the people in this room here. Show of hands who does not have a cell phone. Okay, we're all in 2024, just making sure. And let me ask you, if you think back 5 years ago, are you using your cell phone less today or more today to shop? More? And do you think 5 years from now you're going to use your phone less or more? More, right? That's the future. That's where we're already at. And so guess what? If you're not there, you're behind, because the most valuable real estate on the planet is not right here on the strip, right? It's pretty close, but it's actually on mobile, your cell phone. That's the most valuable real estate on the planet because that's where everybody's eyes are. Let me make everybody sad for just a second. Okay? The average person spends 4.5 hours of their day on their cell phone. It's more time than with your wife and your kids and your thoughts combined, okay? Right? Last night I was scrolling through Instagram. I was like, what am I doing? Go to bed. Jesus, you're in Vegas. Get off Instagram. Live your life a little. And more, when you add that up, we're talking about over 2 full months a year on our cell phone. That seems like a lot, right? But she's on her phone right now, right? But we're on our phones all the time, right? What's the first thing you look at when you wake up in the morning, unfortunately? Cell phone. What's the last thing you look at when you go to bed? Phone. What's the one thing you shouldn't be looking at right now while we're up here? Phone, right? So we know it's the most valuable real estate on the planet, but how are people spending their time on the phone? They're not just, scrolling around haphazardly. 88% of that time is spent on mobile apps. And so guess what the biggest and smartest brands in the world have figured out? Guess where they need to be? Powered by mobile apps. That's why all of your favorite brands are powered by mobile apps. Think about it. Starbucks, Sephora, Lululemon, Target, Delta, just name a few. Who here has the Starbucks Rewards app? Right? Yeah. It's a coffee company, or is it? Is it more a tech company or a coffee company, would you think? It's a tech company that sells coffee. And these brands didn't get lucky. They didn't all just individually say, oh, maybe apps work. No. They're smart, they're savvy, they're multi-billion-dollar businesses, and they figured out, like, hey, if there is one way to reach people in 2021, 2022, 2025, 2038, it's through mobile, because that's where people's eyeballs are now. And what we do at RepeatMD is we build platforms that combine the power of rewards, memberships that Phil articulated so beautifully, e-commerce into your own mobile app. Imagine if the CTO of Starbucks walked into your practice and said, hey, sir, I can build the same technology for you. Would you throw him out of your office? Or would you say, how fast can you get started? He's like, well, I don't know if I can afford you. He's like, I'm doing it pro bono because I love aesthetics. And this ultimately equals a new source of revenue. And the reason why it's going to be such a strong source of revenue is because you're giving your clients, your patients, the experience that they want, that they're used to, that they're comfortable with which is that mobile experience. Is that making sense? Is that adding up? Yes? Yes? Yes. So this is what we do. We create mobile app designed exclusively for your practice to give your patients the same experience that they are commonly using in other places, right? So let's show you. I could tell you, but you know what? A video is worth a million words, I guess. This video actually has 0 words. Let's play it.
And we'll need the volume for this.
Turn it up to 10 and rip the knob off, huh? These two ladies are trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do with all these new patients. Like, their calendar's never been so full. Real quick, who here has RepeatMD right now? Bought it yesterday? You loving it? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I love it so far. All right, awesome, great. That's awesome. Well, hopefully the rest of y'all can join suit and, you know, see why they bought it yesterday and what you can take back to the practice. And let's break it down for you, right? There's really 3 or 4 core things that we really bring to the table. The first one is mobile rewards. Let me explain to you why mobile rewards is the key. We call it the Trojan horse. You know, don't tell your patients it's a Trojan horse, okay? It's not good PR, but it is. And that's why all the big brands, they don't just make like the Starbucks coffee app, do they, Phil? They make the Starbucks rewards app because that's what gets you involved. It's what's in it for me, the patient. So it's a rewards app because like, oh, rewards, I'll sign up for it. Because guess what you don't want? You don't want just another app on your phone, right? Don't we all have enough little apps, app fatigue? That's why you don't see any new social media apps because we're like, oh, I don't want another one. But a rewards app that I get something for, I'm all about it. And so let's see how it works. So the first thing we're going to do with the rewards app, the reason why it's so key is because it's going to build your own brand. I never met an industry that's so good at building other people's brands in the aesthetic and wellness industry. You guys love it. I walk into your spa. I feel like it's an advertisement for all the device companies. You've done a wonderful job promoting them. Now it's time to promote yourself and build your own business, okay? And what this app is going to do, it's going to do that for you because guess what we're going to do? We're going to put your signage, your brand in your patient's hands and let them expand your message for you. And also, you're going to see here, 74% of industry rewards points earned are used in competitor clinics. So when you look at the numbers and the stats, what you're going to find out is that, hey, people are using these points, they're using their rewards, let's use them in your facility. The second thing we're going to do once we have them in is we're going to keep them coming back. We're going to automate retention. One of the biggest leaks in the bucket that I see is we're spending all this money on acquisition, but how do we keep them coming back consistently? Well, rewards is gateway drug, membership is phase 2, so if you can get them in with a reward, then use that reward to trigger the membership, you're making more money, you're building a more viable business for the future. And you can do that with birthday reminders, VIP status, let them know when they haven't visited in a while. And the good news is you don't have to hire somebody and pay them $25 an hour to send out these messages when you have a technology that's doing it for you in the background 24 hours a day at a fraction of the price of a full-time employee. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to increase their purchases because when we have loyal patients that are coming in more often, they're going to see the offers, they're going to see the treatments, they're going to see the services over and over and over. And guess what happens when you see something over and over and over? Eventually, the mood strikes you and you just buy. That's how everything's bought. You want something, now think about it. Then one day you're just like, oh, fuck it, today's the day, right? And that's what happens. So you take mobile rewards first, get them in the game. The next thing you want to do is make sure they can discover. They learn about everything you have in the practice. I like to call it Grand Central Station for your practice because it's the hub where they can find and access everything, right? From their Allea points, their Galderma points, to your latest treatment, to service, to booking an appointment, and it's all done in one place, right? So your patients can only know about the services you have, or they can only buy them if they know about them. So let's invite them to the party, okay? What percentage of people do you think are actually using their smartphones in your practice? Any guesses? 98%? Yeah. Everybody that has a phone basically is the answer. If you have a phone, you're on your phone at the practice. Isn't that the norm? If you're waiting on something, the phone is out, right? That's just the way life works. So why not have them on their phone looking at your app, kind of getting some ideas while they're waiting? I think that's a pretty good business model, and so should you. So check this out. Plus 273%. Average website visit is only 53 seconds versus 3 minutes and 18 seconds for the average mobile app session. So you have a way more captive audience when you have them on their phone versus when you have them on a desktop. We're talking an additional 2.5 minutes of time invested in your business. That's the reason why all these big brands are invested in mobile, because they know it's time and attention, it's energy, and ultimately more time equals more sales. Another key here, Phil was already mentioning this about we don't discount anymore, right? Nobody wants a discount service. But you can show them through the power of the app without having to sell them that, hey, there's different ways to buy, there's alternatives. Affirm financing is one of the tools we have built into our app. And what's so powerful about it is that I no longer have to make a $5,000 decision in front of you. And I don't have to ask somebody to spend $5,000 with me right there. Now I can ask them to spend $150. Hey, you want this service? Who wants to save up money for the next year, or who rather just get it and pay over the next year? I think this is America, right? We all rather just pay later and get the treatment today. This technology gets that flow started. And I promise you, nobody in this room wants to be a salesperson in the med spa and the wellness. What you want to do is provide results. So have a tool that gives that assist, that does it for you, make life easier for you and your patient. And then we're going to grow. Phil talked about acquisition through memberships. The secret of RepeatMD, one of my favorite tools that kind of gets lost in the sauce because it does so many great things, is the ability to drive referrals. First thing when people sign up and ask them, hey, refer a friend, refer a friend, refer a friend. You're spending tens of thousands of dollars every month to grow your business, acquisition, acquisition, acquisition. Most of you are spending $0 on retention, so you're going to be in that acquisition rat race for the rest of your life. Wouldn't it be nice if you could get 2x the referrals, 5x the referrals, and not have to spend that money? Who here has a referral system right now and that doesn't have RepeatMD? All right, so we got one, two of you. I bet referrals are a big part of your growth plan, yeah? Right? Everybody here. I've never met a med spa that said, no, we don't need referrals. Isn't a system that helps you get referrals organically valuable to you? I want you to just think in your mind what one new patient is worth to you potentially, like a new referral, how much that's worth to you in the course of a year. And I want you to multiply that by 10, and then multiply that by 10 again. And now think about the difference if your business could get 100 referrals just every single year that you don't have right now. What's that worth to you? Write down that number if you can think of it off the top of your head, okay? So now we got them in the system. We have them learning about all the different treatments and services. We have this nice pathway. Now I want to show you what's possible once they're home, relaxing in their bed, like Phil likes to say, when they got a couple glasses of wine in them, or a couple of mojitos.
A little wine and dine. So 24/7 shopping, I like to talk about this piece because we're getting a little technical on the way that we do this, but all of the stuff that Chris is showing is done 100% automatically. On the referral piece, I know we have some RepeatMD clients. One of the game changers for you is every time someone checks in to remind them that they can send a free gift to a friend. Okay, if you want to get more referrals with RepeatMD, all they're doing is sending gifts to a friend, 100% compliant in all 50 states, but there shouldn't be a person checking in that's not referring somebody. Hey, make sure to send a gift to your friend, send $50 towards whatever it is, okay? So 24/7 shopping, let's talk about how do we break the shackles of small business, 4 walls, 9 to 5 p.m. You can't sell on Christmas Eve. You can't sell on Easter Sunday. You can't sell on Mother's Day. Coming up, folks, okay? The reality is that if you're a brick and mortar business, you're not always open. All those retailers Chris talked about, guess what they are? Always open. They don't take a day off, okay? And the reason why is they have the technology. That's why we've been so revolutionary in this space is there's so many of you folks that have had a consultation or patients that want to rebuy that all we have to do is hit them at the right moment, okay? So 24/7 shopping. I start with your memberships reinvented because all the things I talked about are built in. I can click gold membership here. I can read the benefits. Look at that, folks, built up sign up bonus right there. If I buy today, these are one of the things that I get. Scrolling down, I can see all of my benefits so they don't have to ask you anymore. It's right there. Then I get one of these monthly. We can build it however it is that you like. And then look at this, a 6-month loyalty bonus. If they're a member for 6 months, boom, and I can just buy right there from the phone. Okay, one-click memberships, Apple Pay, whatever, it's done. Simplified treatment and redemption benefits, display membership-only pricing, okay? Reward your patients for milestones. Isn't that a game changer alone? Just making sure that that patient stays that one extra month so they unlock a 6-month bonus, a 12-month bonus. I get excited just by talking about it because I know this is what converts with human psychology, right? It's like, boom, that next little hit coming up. Okay, that's a new feature, so you need to turn it on. And then, of course, remove operational headaches with automated billing. Okay, Ryan DeVault, Radiant Divine, he signed up, I think last year. It might have been a year before that. And the reason why he signed up is he told me that I think he's got 4 locations. And with those locations, he had memberships. And then his front desk staff stopped calling the people that their card declined because their EMR wasn't charging after the card decline. So he tells me in about a 3-month period, he loses $180,000 with credit card dunning because no one was calling the phone, okay? And that's the reality of like, if you just have your EMR doing it, boom, they charge one time and that's it. And then you're like a call center, right? Just picking up and dialing and then your memberships become a nightmare. The nice thing about RepeatMD is our credit card dunning is automatic for 3 times. It'll charge your card and keep charging. And then boom, big red banner, make sure to update your card, right? Using technology to work for you so you can work less, okay? Sell the membership effortlessly. Look, if I'm buying an ultimate wellness package, right? And it's $5,000, with smart benefits, the membership feature, I see that if I buy a membership today, I immediately save $1,000. Okay, that's smart benefits. That's a feature that we've released where at the moment of purchase, they can click this little thing and they can save $1,000 by joining a membership. That's like a salesperson built in for you. Okay, if someone's buying a big package, I'd be happy to pick up a new member if they pick up a new package and buy membership at the same time. Am I making sense? Okay, so that's smart benefits. Giving them every way to pay. Chris talked about this a little bit earlier, but when we do pay and transitioning from memberships, do you have card, Apple Pay, patient financing all built in? Folks, gone are the days where I'm gonna step to the side and say, hey, do you have credit? Can I get a credit application? Can I sign up for that? And if you think about it, it's ludicrous because we're in the aesthetics and wellness industry. A little part of that has to do with vanity. And I'm not so sure I walk into Louis Vuitton and say, hey, do you all have a credit application? And I'm pretty sure your staff is not super comfortable asking the patient if they need a financing application. Am I wrong?
Telling them they're declined.
Why don't we just put it on the most private interface in their life, which is called the mobile phone? My God, could you imagine if someone picked up your phone and saw the things that was on that little baby?
My God.
Oh, baby. So let's make it private for them, okay? Let's give them an opportunity. And the reality is a lot of people that buy this, especially with a firm with 0% interest, it's not even people that need financing. It's people that would rather make a payment option of $100 or $200 a month. I don't know how many iPhones would sell if they said, oh no, that's $2,000 cash for you. Right? I'm happy paying $180 a month for the rest of my life for my iPhone. I think $2,000 for an iPhone is crazy. But $100, $200 a month, sign me up. I'm an iPhone user for life now, okay? So you get it, okay? And look, I got plenty of cease and desists for these slides, but stop overpaying for patient financing. Let me help you make sure you make more money. There's nothing worse than a small business at the end of the month. You go straight to your P&L, you look at the net income, and you're like, where the hell did all the money go? Well, a lot of times it's death by all these little nicky-knack fees, okay? So the reality is we partnered with a firm. You pay one consistent fee of 3.99%. That's any credit score for any term length, anyone that gets approved. 3.99%. Folks, if I come to you and say, hey, it's only 2.5%, but a person that gets a 650, it's 14%, trust me, you want a consistent fee. You don't want a ticking time bomb in your practice that you don't know that the patient is gonna apply, has a 700 or 650 or God forbid a 580, and then all of a sudden, all your money's gone, okay? So that's what you get with RepeatMD Affirm, one consistent fee. It's why we partnered with them. We're not a patient financing company. We just embedded with the best provider, okay? This is what you're used to. This is not us, okay? This is what you're used to. That is dead. The reason why it's dead is because 24 months, 14% practice fee, okay? 700 with 24 months, folks. The news is a lot of people will get 24 months financing, and now you're paying 14%, but guess what you were sold off? Okay, that little 3.5% fee number, or that 2.5% number, they'll walk in and they'll say, hey, it's only 2.2%. And you're gonna say, oh, that's cheap. And then you're gonna look at that bottom line and you're gonna realize it was not so cheap. And then you know what's gonna happen is you're gonna stop talking about it. And you know why that is a tragedy? Because my thought, and I believe I share this, is my thought every patient that wants a treatment deserves to get that treatment. And we need to come together and say, hey, if this patient deserves that treatment, that's the treatment that they want, we want to give access to that treatment, we should give them every way to be able to pay that. Am I wrong? I feel very right about that. What about you, Phil? Absolutely, okay. So here's the difference. If you're paying 9% because you paid 7% and 8% and 12% and 3% and 2% and 8%, you're paying about 9% on average. Okay, with us, 3.9, 429, you're saving 50%. Pays for the software alone, okay? Just gotta make sure that we embed the firm, use RepeatMD, et cetera, okay? And the reality is, you grow your practice with RepeatMD, 86% of in-app purchases are made outside of the practice. Why is that relevant? Because it's working when you're not, okay? If someone's buying in their car, or if someone's buying before they go to sleep, or if someone's buying on Mother's Day, you're not open, okay? That's a new source of revenue. And 22% is the average increase of practice with RepeatMD. It's fully enabled, been with us for over 12 months. Okay. Medical Spa Show. We don't bring out the white suits and the big booth for no reason, folks. We bring it out, and then we also bring deals, okay? And Chris, the deal maker himself, with take a look at this guy's shoes.
I don't wear these at church, folks, okay?
He'll tell you all about
Right.
it.
So, look,
Thank you, folks.
Give it up. Oh, Phil Fitter. My God. The only thing whiter than that suit is his hair, folks. Am I right? Okay. So, look, I'm not going to ask anybody in this room to buy RepeatMD, but you're in this room. The only ask I have is that you get a little bit more information and just understand a little bit how we might be able to work with you, because the information is harmless. It's free. And if it is a great fit, it's a great benefits where you're trying to take your business, then I'm gonna make sure it's incredibly easy for you to get started here, because once a year we come here and we like to make a big splash. So with that being said, if you're curious about like, hey, this looks like it could be a lot of work, I don't have a lot of time, we have a lot of projects going, we couldn't make it easier for you to actually get started. One, we're gonna get to know your practice. That's key. Because we'll sit and tell you like, hey, great practice, great business model, not a great fit for us. Cool. We know it works, we know it doesn't work. So let us understand you, you understand us, and make sure we have a successful relationship. So anyone who does sign up with us, we have a conversation, right? And we figure out as much about you as you figure out about us and make sure that we can do this together. Then we're gonna build your mobile app. It's a process that we have down to a science to make sure that it mirrors all the things that you wanna reflect, what you wanna show your patient, how you wanna communicate. And then you have this engine that you turn on that's working for your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? Nobody in this room wants to work 24 hours a day. None of your employees wanna work 24 hours a day, but guess who doesn't mind working 24 hours a day? Technology. It's here to be your servant, so let it serve your business. What's really special about us, though, isn't the technology, right? And I think this is because we weren't a Silicon Valley tech company. We were started out of Houston, Texas, right? And that means we kind of have some of that Southern charm, and we believe in service and putting people first. And so a big part of what makes RepeatMD so successful is that our team is here to make sure you're supported. Whether it's ongoing support, our specialists, our client success team, our design specialists, we're here to make sure all the little nooks and crannies are covered for you, so you don't have to go out there and like build all the little like marketing plan, the QR codes and the print material. You don't have to do that, right? We do that for you. And moreover, we're invested in your continual success, which is why we pay big money to have some of the industry's best and premier experts and business owners get on calls with our clients every single month and give their tips, their strategies, and their secrets. Like literally what they're doing to make millions of dollars in their practices, they're just opening it up and they're sharing it with our clients every single month. The value of that alone, I mean, to me, that's everything. That's having mentors that have been there, done it, and from all different types of practices, and you can just take notes and start doing it, and that comes part and parcel with your subscription to RepeatMD. And remember, this is not the RepeatMD app. People aren't going to say, oh, I got RepeatMD. They're going to say, no, I've got the Amora MedSpa app. I've got Dr. Smith's Wellness app. We're building this to build your brand because, like I said, you've already done a good enough job building everybody else's brand. Now it's time to build your own brand, right? So look, don't get scared by this, right? Big number, $7,000. If you think about it, $7,000 to build this technology for yourself is a bargain. I bet you couldn't get it done for under $500,000 if you went out to do it on your own. But typically it's $7,000 to do it. And if you want everything that Phil's talked about, membership sales, financing, the whole enchilada, that's our executive package at $997 a month. I think it's a steal because I can't hire somebody for $997 a month to do all this for me. I can't pay him $997 a week now, right? But RepeatMD is going to do it all for you for only $1,000 a month, which is an absolute stone cold bargain 7 days a week. But here, the 8th day of the week at AmSpa, we're going to do it all for you for $699 a month ongoing. So that's a savings that you're going to have in your pocket forever. And we're going to get you out the door, signed up, ready to rock and roll when you get back next week for $1,748 all in today. You tell me that we're not invested in your success. You tell me that we're not here to make sure we get clients a new experience of the show. I'd say, look at this. We're all in to make sure that you can get started today and the cost is not a barrier for anybody. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to give you some awesome bonuses you can take home with you as well. Starting with the MedCommerce Blueprint. I think that might be Russian in the end, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. 2024 guide, best-selling treatments, packages, memberships that we've ascertained, talking to over 4,000 practices. Get the insights on what your competition is doing and what's ahead of the curve. Number 2, our aesthetic wellness study benchmark, where we've done surveys and we say, hey, what EMRs are you using? What finance is hot? What's the lay of the land? We have this done. Both of these 2 guides we sell for $1,500 as an independent value. Part of the package we're throwing at you this weekend. Brand bundle, so all of the print material that you need to get started, the QR codes, the signs, the banners, all included, right? So that alone, we spend $2,000 on to get you started. That's part of the package as well. Just like you see here on the screen, all very high quality, designed around your brand. And then lastly, white glove promotions. Phil talked about Mother's Day. He talked about Black Friday. He talked about Valentine's Day. Anybody run a promotion for Best Friends Day this year or last year? Anybody know you got one right here? Best Friends Day is a real holiday and is one of our best sellers, but none of you ran promotions on it because you don't know it exists. So you can opt into our e-commerce promos. We can do that on autopilot for you, guaranteeing you these little revenue hits. Boom, 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 throughout the course of the year. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 that you might not have picked up otherwise. So my ask for the group here is simple. Don't say yes. Just scan the QR code. Sign up for a time to come talk to us because we're extremely busy. We're by appointment only. So if you don't scan this QR code, there's not going to be an opportunity to talk to us. If you don't have RepeatMD, scan the QR code, come and just talk to us and just see if we can make a difference. And then worst case scenario, we're giving away 5 Louis Vuitton bags. So you maybe want a Louis Vuitton bag. Right? Everybody likes Louis, yeah? So thank everybody for your time, for your attention. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and come by and see us. Thank you all.